It's a story of a nasty virus that caused us all to have to stay at home. We were missing our friends and family, but then we learned to Zoom. The Zoomdemic. It's a story of the COVID Zoomdemic.
So that's how we should start off this Zoom play that we're writing together. Hollywood Squares meets Brady Bunch theme song. I love it.
Yes, I think we just need to have some fun with the serious stuff that we're going through.
I don't know. This topic and comedy, I mean, what is funny about a deadly virus?
Well, there's nothing funny about sickness and death, but you have to admit, some of the adjustments that we've had to make have led to some pretty hilarious situations, at least after we got through them.
Totally. I mean, hoarding toilet paper, using Instacarts, Zoom meetings for school, work, family, hell, just about everything. Funny stuff.
Well, I guess I see your point. And being able to see the humor in things can help cope with bad situations.
Look, let's just start working on it, writing it. If nothing else, it'll be a fun distraction. If it doesn't work, we can let it go. But at least we had some fun playing with all of those ideas that we've generated.
All right, I'm game. I've got nothing better to do. It is a pandemic after all. So where do we start?
I like the idea we threw around about writing a series of short scenes.
Vignettes?
Yes, I like that too. Then we can play around with different styles of writing and focus on particular areas and topics in each scene.
So where do you want to start?
Well, we could use a variety of formats. What if we wrote a soap opera scene where someone wants to steal someone else's husband, so she gets an infected tissue and tries to kill his wife with it somehow?
Or there could be a paternity debate and the alleged father says it's impossible because he was in quarantine. Ooh. Or someone can come back from the dead or leave the hospital as a different person.
Those ideas are entertaining, but I think it might be good to start with something that everyone who has lived through the pandemic can relate to.
Good point, Darlene. There are definitely some things that most of us have experienced during the pandemic.
Keep it real, you mean? Yeah, this has all been so surreal. This is like nothing we've ever experienced before.
Almost like being in the Twilight Zone.
Year is 2020, and you have entered the fifth dimension. A ferocious virus has plagued the planet, and much is unknown about it. Lives have been disrupted like never before, but it's the little things we don't ever think about that have wreaked the most havoc. Acquiring our basic necessities, our day-to-day routines, getting together with friends and family. Groups of people desperately long to connect while in the confines and limitation of quarantine. They turn to technology and join together over a platform called Zoom. Observe as we witness a meeting of childhood friends already in progress.
Oh, yeah. Do you remember when we, during senior year at Halloween, when we toilet papered Mrs. Young's house?
You mean that crazy old bat?
What are you kids doing? You're all hyped up on sugar! Get off my property and call the police!
Didn't she used to trim her bushes with scissors?
I wonder what she did with all those balls we lost in her yard.
Probably used them to cast a spell on us.
I remember that night that we TP'd her house. It was so cold that I was shivering, or maybe I was scared of what she would do to us. But what was weird was when the neighbor came out and took down all the toilet paper and then brought it inside his house.
Yeah, he probably used it too.
Yeah, not so crazy now. I've been to 5 different stores this week and they're all out of toilet paper.
I looked on eBay for it and they all wanted $4 a roll or more.
That's insane.
Going to the bathroom has never been more complicated.
We heard they had toilet paper at the hardware store, so I sent my husband to get what he could. He comes home with these giant industrial-sized rolls, and we end up chasing them around the bathroom. I finally put it in a box so it wouldn't get dirty. We've only started 1 roll, but we'll have it forever, I guess.
So you'll never run out of toilet paper.
We fixed the problem easy. We installed bidets at our house.
What's a bidet?
Oh, la-dee-da.
Well, we can't afford a bidet, but we got a bidet attachment for our regular toilet. It is much cheaper than replacing the whole.
How did that work out?
Great if you like water spraying all over your bathroom.
Well, now you don't have to clean in there.
And we don't have to wipe our butts.
A bidet isn't going to help me. Since there was so little rain this year, my well pretty much went dry and the toilets wouldn't fill. So I just made myself a little outdoor latrine. Did you know that you can use healthy people's urine as fertilizer in your garden?
Ew!
Well, I was down in Florida when this whole pandemic thing first started. On the way driving back north, I wasn't comfortable going into public restrooms. So I just kept finding places to pull off to the side of the road and pee in the bushes.
No.
Oh.
Better than wearing an adult diaper like that female astronaut that drove 3 days to kill her lover's girl.
Oh, it's quite easy to pull off when you have a handy-dandy female urinal funnel. Anyway, it was all fine until I was in Poughkeepsie. I made sure I was in a fairly secluded spot and used my vehicle to block me. But there I was with my pants unzipped when something passed me coming out of the woods.
OMG, what was it?
But that's not the end of it. I was so startled that I tried to zip up and get out of the way. I tripped and fell headfirst into the mud while the funnel went flying. Whatever it was that ran by me, it was unfazed and just kept going. But now I'm covered with mud and I have to get back in my car. I mean, I did have disinfecting wipes, but I didn't want to waste them.
No. What did you do?
I took off my pants and drove the rest of the way in my underwear.
Well, that's how I attend my Zoom work meeting. Who needs pants?
This is what happens when we take the little things in life for granted. Bathrooms, toilet paper, work meetings, traveling on the road. All things that took on a new meaning. All because of a little microscopic cell.
This is Mike Robe, WCVD Channel 4, reporting to you from my home due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Reports are coming in that shelves in local stores are just about bare. People are hoarding toilet paper, diapers, disinfected wipes, and milk. Some stores are limiting the amount shoppers can buy. Even Amazon is experiencing delays in shipping. It is uncertain how long this will last. Some people are taking advantage of the situation by purchasing large amounts of critical items, such as toilet paper, and then charging inflated prices. Customers are being advised to purchase what they need, but consider other consumers. This is Mike Robe, WCVD Channel 4.
I think that scene works. I mean, not having enough toilet paper was the frontline issue initially. But what about all the other things that we've had to deal with?
And it wasn't just toilet paper. Hand sanitizer, mask, and even basic staples. I started getting all my groceries through Instacart because I'm in a high-risk category. Not so much now, but early on, they were often out of the basic things that I needed.
Who would ever have thought that Amazon would either be out of stock of so many things or take so long to deliver?
OMG, yes. I sent my parents something in the mail and it arrived over a month later. My dad had to pay for his medication locally because his mail order meds never arrived on time. I think he finally got them like 2 months later.
I do have to say that one of the nice things about the pandemic is how much easier it is to get telemed appointments. Instead of having to drive an hour and a half each way, I can have an appointment from the convenience of my own home.
Much safer that way too.
Totally. I even had a physical therapy appointment that way.
And think of all the gas you save. We're all getting like 3 months to the gallon right now.
So many people are struggling. I have a friend who is caring for her elderly mother. She has to balance that with working remotely, supervising employees, and ensuring her clients get services.
Yes, and all those healthcare workers, teachers, and other frontline workers who are being asked to be up close and personal with this pandemic. Same pay, yet greater risk, and having to figure out how to provide care as a professional, while at the same time living through this crisis personally.
There's so much to write about. I mean, between the three of us, we've generated five pages of ideas.
Sure, we have lots of ideas based on our lives, but what about those people who have nobody to help them through this? What are they going to do?
Support group!
Welcome, everybody. My name is Laura, and this is our first weekly meeting of General Hospital's online pandemic support group. We formed this group because so many of us are struggling with the adjustments that we've had to make due to this pandemic.
Excuse me, miss. When will there be snacks?
What the hell is wrong with you, lady? This is a Zoom meeting. Get your own damn snacks.
Okay, let's get back to our meeting. One of our guidelines is that each person who wishes to speak will have that opportunity to do so without interruption. So if you would like to respond, please just use that little emoji to raise your hand.
Listen, honey, your mic is not on. You need to put it on so we can hear you. Go down to the bottom of your screen. Click on the icon that looks like a microphone.
Have it?
Oh, thank you, sweetie. It took me 15 minutes just to get on here. I was asking about the chat box and I don't see it and I don't know what an emoji is.
That's okay, Monica. That's fine. When you want to speak, just wave your hand. That'll be much easier.
Oh, thank you so much, dear. It really stressed me out, this technology.
And at this time, I would like to give each person the opportunity to introduce yourself and perhaps share what your greatest challenges have been during this pandemic and what made you decide to join this support group. I'll begin. As I had stated earlier, my name is Laura. I am a nurse practitioner and a grief counselor here at General Hospital. I'm married and I have 2 teenage children. Probably the first thing that disrupted our lives was not being able to find toilet paper at our local grocery store.
Oh my God, I had that problem too. I remember going to Whole Foods and we were walking down.
Oh, Miss Karen, you go next.
Hi, I'm Karen. I live near Rodeo Drive with my husband Chad and my 2 children, Amanda and Skip. Since the pandemic started, I have not been able to go shopping for clothing, get my nails done or my hair, and Lord, I can't go to the gym. I miss the foods from my favorite restaurants, and I even tried to cook, and that was a disaster. My maid can't come weekly, and my dry cleaner is closed. It's so hard to take care of my 15-room house. I also noticed that
Thank you, Karen. Thank you. Who would like to be next? Yes, Monica, I see you. The floor is all yours.
Honey, you hit your mute button again. Click on the microphone at the bottom of your screen.
Oh, silly me. Thank you again, my dear. I'm Monica. I'm 83 years old and I live by myself in Central Florida. My dear husband died in February and I just have to wonder if it was from the awful virus. I haven't left my house since my husband's funeral. It's really hard to get food and medications delivered in a timely manner.
Monica, I'm so sorry. We are all here for you.
I can't imagine what you're going through. Losing your husband and dealing with this pandemic?
Thank you both for your kindness. It means a lot.
Hey, Danny, you're up.
What's up? I'm Dan. You can call me Dan or Danny. Doesn't matter to me. I live off the land and I'm ready for anything. I've got lots of toilet paper and other stuff. If you need any, I got it for a good price. Hit me up, 867-5309.
Okay, moving on now. Who's next? April. April, yes.
My name is April. I live with my husband and 3 children in Seattle. I had just gone back to work in September because my youngest became school-aged. But now, because of the pandemic, I had to leave my job to attend to my children who are all home now. Financially, this has hit our family hard because this was so unexpected, and we thought we had this additional income.
Tell me about money problems. At least you have money.
Jason, would you like to go next?
Jason, I served 3 tours in Afghanistan. When I came back the last time, my wife divorced me and she took my kids. So now I live alone in a small apartment in Maine. I came here to this meeting because it's the only free support I could find anywhere.
Thank you for your service, Jason. I'm glad you're here.
Don't worry, it's not the Rona. Just smoked a little to ease my pain. Listen, please don't be like those idiots in the grocery store. They practically shoved me out the door when my asthma kicked in and I started coughing while I wasn't standing in line. They couldn't get me out fast enough.
Great. Now I know where I can get faster service.
Well, welcome again, everyone. This group will continue to be a place where you can share your struggles and also, hopefully, learn some strategies that will help you. So the first thing I would like you to do is to share a simple breathing technique. Have any of you ever done any mindful breathing?
Oh, yes, I have. Before I had my first baby, I was getting so anxious that my midwife suggested that I go to the ashram and study
Whose
with
ass
guru.
did what?
And this guru taught me alternate nostril breathing.
Oh, I know that.
But my favorite was the skull shining breath. Of course, you may have to make sure that you clear your nostrils first, or you may have a mess.
Lady, you are really something. You know, I don't understand any of this breathing stuff. I came here to deal with the pandemic, not to tiptoe through the tulips.
I hope that each of you will give this a try and then tell me what you think after you've done it. Please consider that the research shows that using simple breathing techniques reduces stress and improves your immune function, which is super important right now. So, everyone, get as comfortable as you can. If you wish, you can close your eyes or just simply lower your gaze. Good, good. You all look relaxed. Okay. First, I just want you to just notice your breath. Notice as the air comes in through your nose, down into your body, and back out again. Now, we can slow the breath down by just taking a little longer to inhale and a little longer to exhale.
How do we do that? How much longer and how long should I hold my breath?
Just do it as long as it feels good. Just listen to your body and you'll know.
My body says this is a bunch of bullshit.
No, let's just give it a try. All right, relax. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Slow.
Listen, dear. Maybe you ever get that
Inhale.
cough checked out. It's one of the symptoms after all.
2, 3, 4. Exhale.
This is Mike Robe, WCVD Channel 4. After over 2 months of dealing with the COVID-19, experts say it is not going away anytime soon, and the symptoms can be confusing. While some symptoms of COVID-19 are quite similar to the regular flu, experts say that there are many other signs that someone may have contracted the virus. This includes loss of smell, loss of taste, fatigue, fever, cough. This brings us to our next story. I'm talking via Zoom with DZs, whose son and daughter-in-law both tested positive for COVID-19. Hi, Dee. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So, is it true that you've been self-quarantining for a couple of months now?
Well, yes. My husband and I are both elderly and he has some health issues. So we decided it would be best to stay home, even though we miss our children and our grandchildren very much.
You got an unusual phone call recently. Could you tell us about that?
Well, my son and daughter live about 15 minutes from us. On warm weekends, they come and visit, socially distanced and wearing masks outside in the backyard. When they were supposed to come last weekend, my son called and told me they were going to get tested for COVID-19.
Ooh, did they think they had been exposed to the virus?
They had suspicions. The reason is my son lost all sense of taste and smell. He even remarked that while he was taking a shower, he chugged some fragrance shampoo just to see if he could taste it.
So, what happened?
He couldn't taste a thing.
I guess the experts were right. The symptoms can be unusual. Thank you for sharing your story with our viewers. This is Mike Robe, WCVD Channel 4. And now back to our regular programming. We join the rich and the restless, already in progress.
Ladies, can we please settle down? I'd like to welcome you all to our first virtual planning meeting of the Yorkshire Country Club Women for Philanthropy. I will now call the meeting to order.
Oh, Karen, please. I don't know the rules, but has everyone's wine had a chance to breathe?
Karen, why is your video off?
Oh, are you kidding? I haven't been able to get my hair done in weeks. My color is fading, and my roots are coming in, and my eyebrows look like they need to be mowed. Oh.
Oh, look, honey, we're all in the same boat. What makes me mad is my nails need to be filled, and because of this stupid virus, I can't go see my girl. I've had to cook almost all our meals, and I've broken a nail in the process. This is pure hell.
You're telling me. What am I supposed to wear now that I can't go shopping at Bloomingdale's? I have nothing nice. Look at what I'm wearing. I might as well be in rags.
Ladies, please. We are here to come up with an idea for an online fundraiser for Mercy Flight. Now, as you all know,
Hang on, ladies. I need more wine. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm sure she needs more wine. Probably has a lot of excess energy since she hasn't had a golf lesson with Joe the Pro for weeks.
Well, I haven't been able to take a golf lesson lately, and I'm just fine. I mean, everyone's activities have been limited since the pandemic.
Her lessons were not the normal kind of lessons. They were extremely personal. Private lessons, if you know what I mean.
Ladies.
Oh, forget about the meeting already, Karen.
No. Listen, everyone. Karen left her computer on.
I miss you too, but listen, my husband is right upstairs and I'm in a Zoom meeting with the YCCWP. I have to go now. I know, we could meet there, but how do I explain that when he's home all the time? Listen, we'll talk later. So, what are we up to, ladies?
I thought you were getting a glass of wine, Karen.
Oh, I couldn't find another bottle. It is so hard without a maid. I don't know where anything is. So did you decide what kind of fundraiser we're going to do for Mercy Flight?
Oh, how about auctioning off virtual golf lessons?
Oh, I bet Karen would bid on that.
An online auction of some sort might work. What else could we do?
Oh, we could do a basket of cheer. You know, various wines and maybe some spirit, crackers and cheese.
No, nobody would bid on that. The liquor stores are open. That's one of the few places we can go. Karen and I are regulars there. The owner even gets our orders ready ahead of time. He knows what we want and when we want it.
Well, we could auction off gift certificates to local restaurants. Some are open for business and takeout, and others might be hopefully able to stay afloat if enough gift certificates were purchased. Support our local businesses.
I like that idea. I can speak to Mayor Vi Russ to see if she could match funding for the certificates. Maybe we can get the support of the town. Any further discussion? Okay then, all those in favor of auctioning off local restaurant gift certificates in an online auction to benefit Mercy Flight, raise your wine glasses.
Okay, so we just explored the difficulties faced by all the Karens of the world during this pandemic.
They must be having a really hard time during COVID. I'm glad I'm not high maintenance.
Oh, this has been really hard on everybody. My routine hasn't changed much. I'm not high maintenance either, but it was really nice to have help with my meal prep. And I can't have that now.
That must make things more difficult for you. I know I really miss my drum circle.
Yeah, you're into all that woo-woo stuff.
It's very healing. Don't knock it before you try it. The value of beating on a drum for an hour gets a lot of frustration out. Or it can be very grounding. It helps us connect to the earth and to each other.
Yes, we need to connect now. So many more people are getting together using technology. It is actually another benefit of the pandemic for some of us with disabilities. I know many of us feel less isolated than during normal times, when everyone else is busy with their lives.
Wow, I never thought of that. The pandemic is certainly giving us the opportunity to rethink our lives and the systems that we have in place. We have all been forced to pause, and that leaves space for deeper contemplation.
Exactly. We can go deeper. Very spiritual time, if we allow it.
So, Allison, how are you keeping in touch with all your woo-woo friends?
Well, let me tell you.
Good evening, ladies. I am so pleased that we are able to gather together for this Strawberry Moon celebration, even if it is over Zoom. At this time, I invite you each to light your candles as I recite the solstice prayer. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and pure light within guide you on your way. Sunny solstice blessing.
Thank you. That was beautiful.
Since we haven't been able to get together in person for several months now, let's take a moment to check in so each can share what is on their hearts.
Sisters, I know we have all been really struggling with the energy of this pandemic and how it's affecting everyone. And being empaths, chaos is somewhat overwhelming.
Thank you for articulating what many of us are feeling. I wonder in what ways we can support each other, change up the energy, and practice excellent self-care. I hope we are all finding ways to stay grounded, meditate, and immerse ourselves in nature. I'd be interested in hearing what everybody has been doing.
Does gorging on Twinkies count?
Did you do a smoke cleansing ceremony on them first? The calories don't count if you do that first.
I've been taking advantage of all the wonderful offerings online that started because of the pandemic. I attend a weekly meditation group and a wellness circle. I attend some free workshops and concerts, and I go weekly to an inclusive spiritual community.
A new cult?
No, it's a Unitarian Universalist church.
Church? No thanks. I stay away from that dogma.
But that's the cool thing. No dogma at UU. There are 8 wonderful principles that guide us on our individual spiritual paths.
I've heard of them, and I think if I ever did belong to an organized religion, that would be it.
Diana, those all sound like wonderful ways to ground yourself and stay connected. If you could, email me the links to those various groups so I can share it with the rest.
Sure will.
So Diana is going to share some wonderful ways to stay connected online. But what are we each envisioning to stay connected to the earth? and tap into the energy of the summer solstice?
I started my seedlings inside just before the pandemic because I wasn't working. I could pay a lot more attention to them. So I meditated with them every day, and they are doing great. I cannot hardly wait to get them into the soil.
Oh, good timing, Celeste. Luckily, just before the stores closed down, I bought some new hiking boots. So I've been out on the trails every day.
Are you seeing many people on the trails, and are they wearing masks?
That's been a tremendous spiritual challenge for me. There are quite a lot of people who are walking the trails without masks. I find myself, let's just say, not feeling very loving toward my fellow humans who are maskless.
I think that has been a challenge for all of us. We have to find a way to deal with those feelings. Though we can't control others' actions, we can hold them in the light.
Oh, those COVIDiots. What nerve. They are so inconsiderate. This pandemic would be over by now if people just wore their mask.
I feel your frustration, yet we must come from a place of love and acceptance and do our part. In the end, the highest good will be served. Now, if everybody wants to get their drum, we can raise the vibration and welcome the solstice like all the women before us.
This is Mike Robe, WCVD Channel 4. 4 months into the pandemic, and Zoom is no longer just for work anymore. More and more families, friends, and social groups are using video conferencing to do all sorts of activities. You can find anything from online yoga to virtual tours of famous places. Today, we are talking to Ann T. Dote of Springfield about her upcoming virtual bridal fair. Welcome, Ann.
Thank you for having me, Mike.
When did you realize that a virtual bridal show was necessary?
Well, Mike, we kept waiting for this to be over, like they said it would be. But if you're getting married next year, there's no time to wait. Planning has to start now.
How has the response been to your virtual event?
We were amazed. We actually have more people signed up for our virtual event than we've had in the past for our in-person events.
There you have it. While weddings and other events may not look the same, people like Ann T. Dote are getting creative and making it happen. For more information, you can go to our website and look for Virtual Bridal Expo. This is Mike Robe, WCVD, Channel 4.
Oh, it is so nice to be able to see all my daughters together, even if it is over Zoom.
Looking good, Ma. How'd the lasagna turn out?
You made lasagna and I didn't get any?
Oh, I can try sending you some in the mail.
My mail? Are you kidding me? I ordered my meds over a month ago and they still haven't arrived. Good thing I had some extra.
Well, I'm glad you had extra meds, but the big question is Jennifer getting married in October?
I don't know. I mean, Jeff and I really wanted to get married in Halloween, but we also really wanted the whole experience, bachelorette, bachelor parties, bridal shower, big reception, honeymoon.
Have you talked to your vendors? Can you get your deposits back?
My friend Tiffany was supposed to get married in August, and all of the businesses were really cooperative. They either refunded her money or gave her the option to pick a date next year.
But that means we're going to have to postpone for a full year.
Well, don't do it on Halloween.
But we met on Halloween, so it means something to us.
Well, what if we do a socially distanced wedding?
Yeah, we could cut down the guest list. People will understand.
And we could also Zoom it so people could attend that way.
I don't know. I really wanted the whole package. In person, all the bells and whistles.
Yeah, COVID really sucks. For Steve's high school graduation, remember we had to have a drive-by celebration? Susan was so disappointed. You would think she gave birth to Steve, not me.
Well, you and Susan had a really simple wedding, just a justice in the peace and then a small party. Maybe there were, what, about 20 people total?
Yeah, and we had to wait years before we could even get married. The date wasn't up to us. The ceremony and all the trimmings were not really the focus for us. We just wanted to publicly and legally commit to each other.
Well, that is something to think about. You and Susan are so in love, and you didn't need a big wedding to make that happen. But even if I keep it simple, I wouldn't even get a 20-person celebration for my gathering. COVID just does kind of suck.
COVID totally sucks. My coworker, Emily, had a baby in May. We usually throw a baby shower for the mom-to-be. Well, we sort of did. We had one on Zoom, but it wasn't the same.
Now, couldn't you just have a costume wedding any day? It doesn't have to be on Halloween.
I suppose so, but when?
Do it in the spring sometime. I'm sure things will be better by then. Instead of Christmas in July, you could have Halloween in April.
I guess Jeff and I need to get on the phone and start making calls.
Oh, I am so excited. Now let us know if you need any help.
I need to get on the phone too. I have vacation plans I have to cancel. Damn you, COVID.
Okay, we'll talk tomorrow. Love yous.
You know, we touched on some of the benefits of the pandemic. Have you noticed any others?
I forgot the mute button. Okay. Anyway, I found that I've been paying more attention to things that I did not notice before, like outside my home office window, I can see all these bakery trucks parked across the way. It made me think that I'm lucky I'm not a sweets person, because staring at those giant donuts every day could be tempting for some.
Ooh, it's a good thing I don't see that outside my window. But you're right. I noticed birds outside my window, which prompted me to get some bird feeders. And now I suddenly have a whole new hobby.
I've been able to connect with members of my family more. We meet weekly on Zoom. Some of my relatives I'd never even met in person. I'm learning about my family from new sources.
There is no denying this pandemic has been challenging, but I guess if we open our minds and use some creativity, it's brought some new blessings as well. I'm just glad I don't have school-age children right now. Can you imagine having to work and deal with remote learning?
Hello, and welcome back to COVID Feud. We're in the final round, and we're joined by two great contestants. Joining us on Zoom from Boston is Cheryl, representing the Smith family. And from San Francisco is Annie, representing the Wessons. Cheryl, you made an interesting comment during the break. Would you like to share it with the home audience?
Of course. I was just saying how I was talking with my sister yesterday, and I said, well, sis, I gotta say, I was such a boss mom this week with all of us homeschooling. We got through the week and we still like each other.
They still like each other? Well, that sounds like success to me.
That's a good thing too. I mean, I'm not sure how detention would work at home.
Yeah, that would be a little bit tricky. Well, we're in the final round. Smiths and Wessons, are you ready to pull the trigger?
Yes.
We polled 100 people to find out how they're doing with quarantining with kids. We asked, what is the most difficult obstacle they faced when it came to remote learning? Top 4 answers on the board. Cheryl, you won the toss, so you get to answer first.
Getting them to do their homework.
Getting them to do their homework. Survey says 90% agree with you. Annie, what is your guess?
Keeping my kids from killing each other.
Keeping my kids from killing each other? Yeah, murder during COVID would be ironic. Survey says 35%. Annie pulls ahead. Now, Cheryl, you can regain first place depending on what you answer next.
There's so many things I could say.
Well, you gotta choose just one.
All right, I'll go with keeping the house neat and clean.
Keeping the house neat and clean. Survey says 50%. All right. Cheryl's in the lead with 41 points. This means Annie must get the next answer right to win the game. One more answer on the board. What do you think, Annie?
Oh, this is hard. They definitely get bored and mess up the house and fight a lot. I think the biggest challenge is the overall chaos. You know, mixed up schedules, not being able to do normal activities, and so forth.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, overall chaos.
Okay then, overall chaos. Survey says 46%. Annie, you're our big winner with a score of 6-1. Cheryl, you played a good game. Thank you for participating. Your parting gift is a free gift certificate for tutoring with your kids and a case of toilet paper.
Thank you.
Annie, the grand prize is a brand new video game system for your children and a case of wine for you and your husband.
This is Mike Robe, WCVD, Channel 4. The world of work has changed dramatically since the pandemic started. Many Americans are working from home, while essential workers continue to show up at the workplace. Many businesses have been forced to lay off employees, or even close. Unemployment claims are surging, and many people are frustrated by the process. It can take a long time to get through to file a claim online. It is nearly impossible to reach unemployment processors by telephone, and some have found that there are delays and interruptions in actually receiving their benefits. In the meantime, many are falling behind in rent and other bills. The stress of working or not working has added challenges during the pandemic. The nation is divided as to the best way to keep individuals and businesses afloat during these difficult times. While everyone is anxious to get back to our usual ways of doing business, it is uncertain when that will be, or if we will ever return to business as usual. This is Mike Robe, WCVD Channel 4.
Well, as usual, Blair calls sales meeting and he's late.
I think he's on a call helping a customer.
Still, he called this meeting for 10 a.m. and should have been online early to make sure they were on time.
When he gets here, I want to know if we're getting paid time off the vote.
With half of us working from home, you would think they would be flexible. It's a pretty important election. Our democracy is at stake. We all need to vote.
Well, I am voting by mail. I sent in my application and already got my ballot.
Great. That just means there'll be all kinds of fraud.
Actually, voting by mail is more equitable and fraud is very rare according to years of research. That's part of what the BLM protests are all about. We have to make voting more accessible so that all voices matter and are counted.
Hey, man, let's, not get all political here. Let's keep things on a professional level.
Sorry, I'm late. The managers at big stores needed to go over an order with me.
Oh, no worries. You're here now.
As you know, half of our employees are working from home during this pandemic. Corporate has just began to roll out an employee testing program, but the details are not yet final.
I don't see what the big deal is. As long as we all feel healthy, we should be able to come into work.
So what comes next? First, you want me to get tested and then you want me to wear a mask?
Well, the research is showing masks help. I just want to get back to work. If that's what I have to do, I'm going to do it.
We'd like to get back to having everyone working on site. That means we have to follow company and CDC protocols in order to do so.
The idea of somebody sticking a swab up my nose practically to my brain just grosses me out.
With you, but I really want to get back to work.
We're working on accommodating those of you who work in the office. We are rearranging desks and other office furniture for social distancing and providing those of you who work directly with the public with plexiglass barriers. We should know in the next couple of days what those protocols are for frequency of testing, and the company will be providing you your masks.
I appreciate having the mask provided. I was also wondering if corporate is going to be providing us with some paid time off to vote in November.
Nothing has come down from corporate, but the talk has been that while we believe that voting is very important, we encourage you to vote by mail for your own safety.
Yeah, sure, if you believe this whole hoax and pretend voter fraud isn't real.
Did you say something, Jamie?
You all do what you want. I'm voting in person.
Looks like we know who's going to be the first one in line for testing then. Let us know how it goes, Jamie.
I hope everybody finds their way to vote. I will be sending out an email on Thursday morning with an update on corporate and CDC guidelines and protocol. In the meantime, we'll be working in the manner that we have been for the past months. Any questions? Great. Thank you all. Have a great day.
This is Mike Robe here at WCVD Channel 4. We want to keep our viewers safe. So today I'm going to review the CDC social distancing guidelines to remind everyone that we can all play a part in stopping the spread of coronavirus. Overall, when going out in public, stay at least 6 feet away from other people. And wear a mask. Consider social distancing options to travel safely when running errands or commuting to and from work, whether walking, bicycling, wheelchair rolling, or using public transit ride shares or taxis. Only visit stores in person when you absolutely need to. If possible, use drive-through, curbside pickup, or delivery services to limit face-to-face contact with others. It is possible to stay socially connected with friends and family who don't live in your home by calling, using video chat, or staying connected through social media. If meeting others in person, stay at least 6 feet away from others who are not from your household. WCVD encourages all our viewers to do their part in stopping the spread. This is Mike Robe, WCVD Channel 4.
Well, let's see who shows up for our weekly family Zoom tonight. I hope we can figure out what we're going to do for the holidays since they're coming up so fast.
I'm going to keep an eye on my phone. You know how Aunt Judy always has problems getting on and needs help. Looks like your mom's getting on now.
Oh, hey girls, how are you?
We're doing great, Mom. Susan is just standing by to help Aunt Judy on again. Where's Dad?
Oh, he should be getting on any minute. He had to charge his phone.
Hi.
Hi, all.
Can you hear me?
Hi, Aunt Judy. Yes, we can all see you. Could you stop moving around so much? It makes me dizzy. And you know, you don't have to wear a mask when we're on Zoom.
Oh, I always wear this, dear. You know, you can never be too careful. What if somebody stops by to visit?
Who the hell is going to stop by now?
Yoo-hoo! Be right back.
Can you believe it? Donna, can you mute her? We all know how these visits go.
Well, you know, my sister has her own way of doing things. So, who's coming over for the holidays next week? We didn't get together for Thanksgiving. What are we going to do? Miss this holiday too?
Oh, honey, I've explained it to you over and over again. It's not safe for us to get together. Well, maybe if we lived in Florida where we could all gather outside, but none of us has a big enough house to properly social distance. I mean, that's why Jennifer and Jeff had to postpone their wedding.
Living in fear is bullshit. Isn't everyone feeling healthy? That should be enough.
Hey, Dad, this is pretty serious stuff. You know, I work in the ER and I've had so many COVID tests that I end up putting Q-tips up my nose instead of my ears.
How about this? Each of us will cook part of the meal. We meet at the mall parking lot and exchange dishes and presents. Then we can go back home and eat together on Zoom and open our gifts.
I like that idea. How about I make up the menu and then you each can decide what you want to make.
Guess I'm outvoted. Women win again.
Science and safety win again. You know, your sister, Aunt Judy, is very vulnerable. I'm not even happy she lets people in her house, even though she does wear a mask.
Aunt Judy? Aunt Judy, you're muted.
You
We
see
can't
that?
hear you. You have to unmute yourself.
You see that microphone icon? You need to click on that.
Okay. My neighbor just brought me a lovely casserole. What did I miss?
Well, sis, you missed a stupid plan for the holidays. Parking lots and Zoom. Bullshit! I guess New Year's Eve is out then? Enjoy your champagne. Alone.
Well, at least we know 2021's got to be better than 2020.
How do we finish a play like this? I feel like it's time to stop, and yet we still have pages of ideas left.
Yes. Between Zoom meetings and all the adjustments that we've had to make, Instacart, virtual schooling, missing friends and family.
And at the same time, all these opportunities to think deeply, connect deeply, do things differently.
Why don't we take a look at our idea list and each share one more topic or story that we like?
Sure, that sounds good. Lisa, why don't you start?
Well, a lot of my friends have been getting pets, or at least thinking about getting pets.
I think a lot of people are doing that. They say pet adoption is pretty high right now.
High like cats on catnip?
Yeah, I thought about it, but to be fair, as much as I would like the company, I don't think I am able enough to take care of a pet properly right now.
That is a tough decision, but I'm glad you're really thinking it through. So what were you going to say, Lisa?
Well, a friend of mine was telling me a funny story. When her family was talking on Zoom about pets, one of her relatives told a story about her very first pet. This was years ago when she was a kid. She had never had a pet, and someone gave her some guppies in a bowl.
I barely consider fish a pet, but I suppose they count.
Well, not for long, at least not in this story. Apparently, this inexperienced relative thought that the guppies would enjoy being placed in the windowsill to enjoy the lovely sunlight.
Oh, I can tell this does not end well.
Well, you would be right. Later that afternoon, they were nothing but slime.
Oh, gross!
Yeah, but kind of funny, too.
Please.
Fine, let's hear your story.
Well, as I'm looking at the idea list, I wanted to figure out how to include it all. And it seems weird to try and figure out how to end the script when we're still going through the pandemic. It isn't over.
Maybe we can bring all the actors back in and finish with an ensemble thought.
Yes.
Although we may be physically distanced.
And we only meet by phone or Zoom.
Know that you are loved and cherished.
With real hugs coming someday soon.
COVID has changed our lives for sure.
In ways we may not even know.
But love persists and it endures.
This, we believe it is so.
In the meantime, love still holds.
Creative force strong in our hearts.
Know that love's energy is bold.
Even when we're far apart.
This is Mike Robe, WCVD Channel 4, signing off one last time during this
Zoomdemic.